Shop Talk One-on-One with Jordan Hauser Digital.
In 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of the Shop Talk One-on-One podcast. Today we have Jeff Grant of Jeff Grant Media on YouTube. How you doing, buddy?
All right, yourself?
Doing good. Doing awesome. So I know that you're from Scranton, but and you are a YouTube machine. But
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
All right, so as you said, I'm from the Scranton area, which most people know from the American version of The Office.
The Office.
Not actually filmed here. A few of the external shots used in the pilot episode are actually located about 4 blocks from a Army-Navy store that I used to work at for about 11 to 12 years. So that's a little fun fact. But none of the show is actually filmed in Pennsylvania. But I'm actually a professional videographer at a company that's corporate headquarters is in between Scranton and Wilkes-Barre. They're about 11 miles apart.
Yes.
So I've been working there off and on for a long time, over a decade. So I actually do film and edit and everything for a living besides my YouTube channel. So I'm almost always have a camera or a computer in front of me.
Yep, and that's actually the reason I was like really excited for this one, because as I was going through and studying and doing my homework for this episode, I was like, man, we have a lot in common. It's like, well, besides the fact that we're both from Pennsylvania,
and
definitely, yeah.
Mine's covered in plates, but I got the whole
yeah. Oh yeah, the whole pallet wall.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's pretty much the same career paths. I mean, working for big companies, shooting video, editing, all that stuff, went on to YouTube, and you have your own business as well, correct?
You can kind of call it that. I'm starting to take a little bit of freelance work off the ground. Just got a couple jobs recently. Been offered a lot of weddings, which I'm sure you know are not the most fun thing to work on.
Yes.
But they pay well.
They do. I took a few this year just to, new business. So I took a few this year just to kind of pad my bank account, just to get things in the right place. But they're definitely not my favorite thing in the world to do.
No. And once you put run the numbers, it looks like you're making a good chunk of change, but the amount of hours and the work that you put into these things,
correct,
you're making pennies on the dollar there. So that's why a lot of people like to do them. And that's one thing that most people don't understand. Like, I will do weddings, I'll photography, video, anything you want, and then they spend like 24 hours working on it, and they realize that they just totally lowball themselves.
Yep, absolutely. And I've said this a million times, but it's always the worst whenever you get the people that are, they'll come at you and say, hey, I want you to film my wedding. Super easy, nothing crazy, nothing extravagant. How's like $500? And it's like, yo, no, it's not gonna happen. I always sound like a dick, and I said it it's almost in every podcast that I've done so far. I tell these people I'm not getting out of bed for $500.
I wouldn't either. That's
ridiculous.
There.
If I have to put on a tie,
it's going to be like $1,500 ceremony only, because that's still so much work.
Exactly. That's what, and people they don't understand that it literally is like, it's a 40-hour work week beyond the 12, 13, 16 hours that you spend just day of
shooting it. It's crazy. Like, it's the job that never ends.
Yeah, for real.
That's insane. That's why people are taken back when you tell them a price. Oh yeah, okay, I'll do your wedding. Here's a package deal, and they're like, that seems excessive. Well, the amount of work that goes into this is excessive.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good way to put it, man. Definitely. Yeah. So before we really get into this, I just wanted to stop real quick, because I always do my homework. I always go back to like the very first few videos of a creator's channel. Before we even go any further, I need you to tell me a little bit about the Redneck fire incident.
That is not my video. So people have thought it was, but it's not mine. That was way back in, like, I think I put that up right around when I started my channel, like 2009. I used to do a blog, so I'd write blogs every day, and I'd find it was like Video Friday. So on Fridays, I'd find something hysterical, and I'd post that to the blog. And I found this, and it made me laugh. I just watching it over and over again. I'm like, this could be even better.
Oh
so
my
I
gosh,
took that and I put it to some music, and I slow mode it, and it was. I wish that was my footage because it would be even better.
Absolutely.
But that's like the first video on my channel that didn't. It's like it had 15,000 views when I started my vlog almost years ago now. So I kind of started with a fair amount of numbers, but it was just from one video that had been on the channel for almost a decade at that point.
That's so funny.
I wish that was my footage, but no, that was found footage on YouTube somewhere.
Very
I think
cool.
If you Google Redneck Fire Fail, more versions of that same video will pop up.
That is hilarious, man. Because I looked at it, and assuming that it was your video, I'm like, I laughed. Dude, I belly laughed so loud. And I was just sitting here dying. And I scrolled down, and I'm like, this had to have hit millions. And then I saw 15K, and I'm like, what? I'm like, there is something wrong here. I have it in my notes. I'm like, dude, how isn't this in the millions of hits?
I wish it was in the millions of hits.
Holy smokes.
I would have taken the YouTube career off the ground a lot earlier than I did.
Oh, no doubt. So that was another thing. You said it, but dude, you're another early starter, which is kind of the trend that I'm seeing here. All the guys that I want to talk to are
that are set to private. They're just bad.
I got a few of those
with my friend JT. That was a beer Sunday fail. And I had bought my wife one of those old flip cameras, and it was literally. Do you remember those things? It was a little camera.
Oh yeah.
I'm in I think 480 and 720. It had the little screen. It had a USB port built right into it, so you just plug it into your computer. And we did beer Sundays, where we would just do ridiculous things. And there's 9 video clips of us trying to make a beer gauntlet. With you pour the oil in, you're supposed to heat up a screw. Drop the screw in, it heats up the oil and it's supposed to cut a perfect ring. Well, we tried that 20 times, and I mean, we needed beer bottles, so obviously we were drinking, and we're planning. I had a gas stove at my super old apartment, so now I have the flame. We're drunk. We have hot screws. Kitchen's not that big. It was a bad idea. So when I started posting regularly, I decided I should probably take those videos and turn them to private.
Dude, that is funny though, man. I'm telling you, that's those are the type of things that I think my very first channel ever had some of that. I had a buddy that I actually just hired today as a sales guy for me. That we came over to the bar one night, super plastered. I mean, it's 4 a.m. at this point, and I set up all of the hottest stuff that I could find in my house side by side, and I was like, dude, if you eat a spoonful or a bite of everything on this counter, I said, this is gonna be a cool video. And he's like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. So it started with a raw clove of garlic, and then it was horseradish, wasabi, and then the last thing was sriracha. And when he went to undo the bottle, he accidentally unscrewed the cap from the bottle, not just the nozzle. So he puts it up and he squeezed it, and it just exploded right into his eyeballs. And I seriously, that was the first time ever as an adult that I literally peed my pants. I was standing in my kitchen with my old Canon GL2 and just pissed myself. It was hysterical. But that got I don't know. I think it only got 1,000 views ever.
You repost it now.
I know. I was trying to find the old video. I'm going to have to go through my old Mac and see if it's on there.
The channel still exists. You could probably download it right from YouTube.
Oh, that's true. Maybe.
Yeah,
I'll have to check it out.
Some of those Beer Sunday fails that I did, I had a short-lived series where I was doing I don't remember if it was my Throwback Thursday. I think I specifically didn't do it on Thursdays because Throwback Thursday is a thing. I think I made up some crazy thing and I did it on Sundays or something, where I downloaded a bunch of those old things. They're inserted here and there in a couple of my old vlogs where you see a little clip of us trying to do that. So I know you can download videos from at least 2009 and later if the channel still exists and you can log in.
I think I posted this in 2007, so I might have an issue with that.
Doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'll get one of those screen rippers or something. But yeah, dude, so like we were talking and throughout like, you know, my homework and all that. Just the fact that, I mean, 8 years ago, you were making videos. Fair to say, what, 2010 was probably about your start?
Yeah, I think I started my channel in like November 2009. And the day I started my channel, I put a video up. But, I mean, I was working at the company I'm working at now. I was working there probably, I worked there like part-time, off and on. And then I was full-time and situation happened, left, came back full-time again. But, yeah, I've been at least filming and editing since like 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
But that channel, there's probably, I'd say 2010 is when I really started to make some content, if you can call what I made back then content.
Oh, of course, man. Videos are videos. It's fun. Like, I noticed, like, I was sitting there looking at all the dates and stuff, and you've got a bunch of stuff from 8 years ago, and then all of a sudden, you came hard as a motherfucker for, like, one year ago.
365 days straight.
Yeah.
I said it.
It's hilarious. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you actually put a video out talking about daily vlogging, and that was... So I came up here and I added it to my show notes, but that was one of my first things. I was just like, dude, what made you decide to do that?
Well, the reason I did 365 days in a row was a terrible idea, because that is nothing I wish on anyone. But I set a goal and I did stick to it.
Good for you, man. Lots of people don't.
No, they don't. A lot of people can't even do it for 30 days straight. And I'll in the video of mine that came out at noon today said, would I do it again? No. Do I recommend it to people? Not what I did. Daily vlogging, you learn a lot. You can do a lot. But don't set your mind to not missing a day, because that was brutal. Like, the reason I started to vlog, a lot of people can contribute to, like, Casey Neistat. And yes, when I started, I was watching Casey. But the real reason I started doing a vlog was Adam the Woo. I started following his main channel, and after he started getting all that trouble for sneaking into Disney and whatnot, he was doing the Daily Woo on Adam the Woo too. So I was watching that every single day, and I'm like, you know what? I felt like I was in a rut at work. So I figured I need to do something else. I do a lot of training videos, a lot of corporate videos, and like I like my job, but it can become mundane. Like any job, it doesn't need to be my job. You're doing it every single day. It just becomes like, it's like muscle memory. It's just you're doing it over and over again. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a daily vlog. But Casey said, this is one of the pieces of advice he's told like Sean Duras was, if you're gonna do a vlog, you got to do a daily vlog. I was like, you know what? I watch Adam New's daily vlog. Casey Neistat, millions of viewers. I guess I'll do a daily vlog. In the first 100 days, they kind of went down pretty easy. And it's not hard to do a daily vlog if you don't know what you're doing. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was just filming everything. Putting everything in linear order. I'm like, here's my morning, here's the end. Everything just goes in order. Let's do it. 100 days went down like that. I'm like, this is so easy. I'm going to do 365 days. I'm not going to take a day off. And that was a terrible idea. I mean, I learned a lot, and it was definitely an experience, but it burned me out even more so like my initial being burned out from working every day. But I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad I succeeded. But I did 1 year straight. I didn't miss a single day. It was definitely brutal. And I did do, if you're going to do it, I recommend doing a 2-day delay, because it gives you time to shoot and edit. That way you're not going home and you're not up until 4 in the morning and then getting up at 6 and starting all over again. So I'd film one day, and then that day, either like I usually start on my lunch break, I'd like throw a timeline on my laptop and just like lay my clips out, and then I'd maybe like listen to some tracks, come home from work, do what I gotta do, dig into it a little bit, film for the rest of the day. That night while I'm watching TV, I'd edit away. So like I had something already ready for the next day. I was working on 2 days ahead. So it gave me a bit of a leeway. Even if for some reason I was a little late, I'd get up early the next morning and I'd bang it out, and like the upload might not go live at 8 a.m. It might go live at 9 a.m. But it was done. But it was an undertaking.
Dude, it seems like it, man.
Don't do it.
Yeah. I've I've never even had the idea to go that route. It was something that I guess I admire people for doing. And, I mean, even now would be kind of the prime time for me to do it just because I run my own company and stuff now. And, I have every day open to do whatever I want, whether it's work on my stuff or, work for clients. But, I couldn't even imagine doing that. That is like a brutal, brutal workflow.
Yeah, I mean, some days it was easy. Like, you have a topic, something be trending, and you just talk about it. Like, you don't have any ideas, go on Google, see what's trending, talk about that. Like, there's a whole videos where I'm just talking about what's happening in the news. But the one thing that helped was when I went to London last year, I took my laptop, which was a terrible idea. I had a big, massive, heavy, thick Dell, and I lugged that thing to London. My wife was yelling at me because it's at night. She wants to go to bed, and I'm there pounding away. But I got like 10 or 12 videos out of London. I think I got 12 because I filmed the to and from, but when I was there, I did like I pre-picked all my music, and I did a quick, like, just 3-minute video music montage.
Yeah.
So an actual vlog, so I was able to put out content while I was still traveling. When I came home, I edited the same footage into an actual vlog, so I was actually able to get like 2 episodes out of the same day. So I cheated a little, but I was still filming and editing every single day. I mean, I still put out content every day, but little things like that, like they give your brain a nice rest. That I'm like, okay, I don't
for sure.
think of a terrible idea to film something tomorrow.
Yeah, dude, that is just wild. I mean, like, there's guys from groups that we're in who have since catapulted themselves into space. What's his name? Justin Bravo.
Yeah,
he does it.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a real nice dude. It seems like in order to do that and keep everything fresh and grow, a massive following and things like that, you really have to be out there doing fairly exciting things on a daily basis. And for me personally, it's like, I'm working on cutting videos for clients and things like that. I'm sure I could spin that some way and say, like, make this all about my business and things like that. But there's just, it would take me, if I'm editing for clients all day and then I have to put that away and then start editing a vlog about editing for my clients, there's no way, man. That's some kind of Inception shit I don't want a part of.
Spin that top. Make sure you're not in a dream. But yeah, like someone like Justin Bravo, he's a similar situation to you. Like, he has his own business, so he's got more freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, but still, you still have to do the jobs for the clients.
Exactly.
They have to get done, or you don't get paid.
Yep.
Because you're not going to make, especially where we're at, we're not going to make a living from YouTube.
Right.
We're not. I mean, like, I make $100 every couple months.
Right.
And I'm like, as soon as I get it, you know what happens? I'm going to the grocery store. There's my grocery bill. For the month. Like,
absolutely.
I'm not making any money, really.
Yeah.
But, like, and on top of trying to film something for myself, I'm still at work. And I don't talk about where I work. If you go back to my earlier videos, I vlogged while I was like on shoots for work, and I show some of the products the company works for. And sometimes if I'm talking to my office, there used to be a poster with logos hanging behind me. So I mean, if you did some due diligence, you could find out where I work. But I never say. I don't like to talk about my work, and I can't show a lot of my work.
Yeah,
a lot of it's not public. I do a lot of tutorials for clinicians and stuff to do. So like a lot of what I do, we don't want the general public to see, because the company I work for, we make a product that we don't want someone that doesn't know what they're doing to try to work on that product and hurt themselves or mess up the product.
Exactly.
So like, I can't do tutorials about what I'm doing at work. Sometimes what I'm doing at work is fun. Sometimes it's really creative. I got a project now that I came up with and pitched the other day that they loved, and I'm going to be working on for the past 3 days, and it's going to take me a couple weeks to really pull it all together. But
that's awesome.
I can't talk about it because it's not going to launch for a long time. It's a deal with a product that's not launched. So like, I'm doing fun stuff that I can do a cool tutorial, but I can't do that because I can't show you what I'm working on.
Right.
It's like catch 22. So.
Oh yeah.
It's just like this never-ending thing.
That's the wild thing about being just in the whole creative field. Like you're on set or something. Just recently, I had spilled the beans that like the massive company that I worked for was American Eagle, and you know, that was always tough when you were on set with your crew, and you know, you have cool models hanging out, and you know, there's all the luxury of like hanging out on set. You have your craft table and this and that. And you want to take pictures and you want to post those to your Instagram or something and just say like, oh man, I'm having an awesome day. But then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this whole campaign isn't coming out for like, I don't know, 3 months. I can't post the set to Instagram. So everything was always like kind of askew, offset. And then it was just like, oh yeah, I got a shoot going on today.
Blur out what the camera shoot. And that's why sometimes I'll do like an Instagram shot where like I'm framing up my camera.
Yeah.
But I'll tilt that LCD if I'm using my Panasonic just enough that you got a little glare, you can't see what it's filming, and then where the background's blurred out so you can't see. It's like, hey, look, it's a beautiful day. I'm finally outside. It's not a northeastern Pennsylvania never spring that
right. So when like you've been at your place of business for 10 years, I think you said? Or
I started there back out of college, so it was like late 2004, early 2005. I started there like part-time at night. So like I worked there like time. I usually just edit at night. They'd give me like the training videos, the really boring stuff to work on. And if there was a shoot during the day, I would try to take the day off of work because I worked at an Army Navy store in downtown Scranton. So I would just be like, hey, I can't work today. I got to go film or do something. They rarely even let me film. I was mostly just a PA, but I didn't care. I was getting experience.
Dude, that's cool.
Stuff. I'm cleaning off the product. I'm straightening out things, and I'm just making the background look good. Oh, you need a lunch run? Whatever. Okay, I'll run up the street and get lunch. Whatever.
Sure.
And then that led into, oh, we're really busy. We need another full-time guy. So then I came on, and then the industry I work in took a downturn. I work in the medical industry, so like in 2009. Medicare, Medicaid kind of flatlined a lot.
Yeah.
So that made a lot of people in the industry that I'm in get laid off. And that's what happened to me. I got laid off in like 2009, and then I ended up coming back. There was a guy that I worked with, did my job. He left, and they called me and said, hey, do you want to come back? And I was like, yeah, I hate my job. I'll come back. Oh, you're going to pay me more money than I'm making. I don't have to drive an hour each way every day.
Yeah.
And you're right by where I live. I'll be. When can I start? It was more like, yeah, be there. I'll be there tomorrow if you want me to.
That's awesome.
I've been back doing at this company for almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years next month.
Well, that's great, man. That's awesome. I know what you mean. Like my whole channel kind of came to be because of, you know, I was kind of in the same thing, same repetition at work. You know, you can only film so many videos about t-shirts and jeans before, you know, it's just like, man, what?
Yeah, it's just
like
work.
We've said this exact same thing like for the last 10 videos that we filmed, and you know, it was one of those things where it was like, but if I wasn't doing this, what the hell would I be doing? Like, I would be doing some terrible thing. So it was like in this weird state of mind where I was just like, I don't want to do this, but I want to shoot video. So that's kind of like where the channel took off. I was just like, I need some extracurricular stuff and really just kind of get my creative thoughts like somewhere else. Like I need to do something else. And yeah, that was pretty much, I almost feel that's kind of how everybody's channel almost starts to take off, is just like they want to dump their creative thoughts somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like, you could have the most fun job, and after a while, it just turns into a job. I mean, like, someone looked at what I do, and even though a lot of what I do is kind of mundane daily tasks, people see it and like, oh my God, you get to film and edit and do this for a living. And then, all right, well, go ahead and do it for 10 years. And after 10 years, it's like, all right, I mean, I'm still gonna do my job. I'm gonna do my job well.
Right.
I don't want to like lose my job by any means. Like, I do like my job, but it becomes a job. I'm like, it's repetitive. I do the same thing. Sometimes I get to think outside the box and get a little more creative. Sometimes
That's
I'm
good.
doing a tutorial about how to program a certain thing, and I'm watching back video and editing a video about something I don't even understand. I mean, it's
Right.
like I'm trying to figure out. Sometimes it's like just I'm gonna put this here because that's the order he did it, because I don't know if that's the steps, because and then
Right.
then you get the edits. That's, you send it out for review. It comes back. Well, you replace time code 232. Put
Yep.
that after 445. Put 336 before there. And you're like, okay, because I don't even understand what I'm working on, because I don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
And like, that's the part that people don't see. They don't see that stuff. That it's like, okay, I'm working on like a technical training video that I don't even understand, and now I'm working on this for a week straight because I don't know the order of some of these things. I'm just putting it in linear order because I don't understand that we filmed step 3 before we filmed. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
and after a while it's just like, okay, do here, and a couple mouse clicks, let's move this around. It just becomes like this task that I do every day. And like,
Sure.
again, I like my job, I enjoy it.
Well, that's good, man.
but
I'm glad that
I
you
need
like
something
it.
else.
Yeah.
I needed something else. That's why I started trying to do YouTube, and
Yeah.
finally getting to where I'm feeling more comfortable. I could do things that I want. I'm not pumping out something every day. I've been so busy lately between work and between doing freelance gigs. Like, I haven't put out much content in the past like month. Also, it's been so crappy. There's only so many times I could talk about how bad the weather is. Oh, look, it's
Right,
April and
yeah.
it's still snowing. Oh, look, it's 20 degrees outside and it's raining. I can't do anything. I'm inside my house. How many times do people want to see me talk about something with this wall behind me?
Right.
I love the wall, but how many times do people want to see that? You know?
I feel you. I built this whole thing. Because I got sick and tired of looking at the plain white wall behind me. I was just like I have to either get outside or I have to make something visually interesting here.
Hey, man, yeah, props. I got it. You can't see it, but this room keeps going. Like,
That's awesome.
I built the whole bar down here.
Ooh,
I'm in my basement.
that's nice.
This is the basement of my house, so I have this whole, my license plate wall. It kind of goes over. I got a bar back I built,
Nice.
and I'd say most of what's down here is was free reclaimed wood from something or another, either pallets. A lot of this stuff is my old fence that I tore down from behind my house. It was
Nice.
red. So a lot of it's old fence slats. I have pieces of my parents' old deck. The bar backs built between some salvaged plywood and decking posts and pallets. I have old skateboards as shelves on the wall.
That's excellent, dude.
Yeah.
That's a proper bar right
Yeah.
there.
This was a good winter project. This is what I do in the winter when I start losing my mind. I unfortunately built all of this before I started doing YouTube, or I could have vlogged this, but
Yeah.
this was like a whole winter like 3 years ago. I'm like, I'm going to lose my mind because it's never ending, and I got to
yeah.
do something. And I was like, I got some 2x4s downstairs. I'm going to frame out a wall, and then it turned into this.
Dude, that's perfect, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I just saw a meme today rolling across Facebook, like every single person in the world sharing, is that Forrest Gump, and he's saying, and then all of a sudden it stopped snowing and it was 80 degrees. And I'm like, yeah, I'm literally feeling that right now because I took my air conditioner out and I haven't put it in yet. Not that I'd be running it now because of this, but I'm up in my attic. That's where my studio's at. And I'm literally pouring buckets of sweat right now. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm
just,
glad I'm in my basement.
pounding
I could
water.
feel the temperature drop when I walked down the stairs
yeah.
in the basement.
Oh.
I'm like, oh my God, because it was pouring rain when we started this, and it was super humid. As soon as I came downstairs, it was like 20, 30 degrees cooler, and it's just like super comfortable down here.
That's
now.
excellent. That is excellent. Yeah. Well, the one thing that I wanted to say about, like, I'm glad that you enjoy your job. And that was like when people would say that same thing to me, and they would just be like, dude, what are you complaining about? You get to shoot video all day. You get to play with cameras all day. That's your dream job. And it really was. It really, is my dream job to like have that sort of a gig, especially in the area that I'm from. I mean, like, somehow, like, this isn't Hollywood. It's not prevalent over here, but
Look, you landed a big fish there.
somehow I, ended up working, at a couple different places that do this. And, I would just tell people, you know, after a while, it kind of almost turns into like a video factory. You know, they hand me a script, I put my widgets into it, and I hand it off to this guy, and then he puts his widgets into it. Yep. They box it, and they sell it. But it's, you know, it is what it is. I think agency life was pretty much my favorite. When I got to work with like ad agencies and stuff like that, then it was cool because it was commercials. It was different every day. Maybe we'd do tutorials or, you know, some of those overhead food videos that, you know, Tasty made popular and things like that. But just video in general, man, it's, you know, I always do look back, and as much as I complained about being in the video factory, it was a fantastic thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of experience. I'm sure you learned a lot working
Absolutely.
with other people, a lot of tips and tricks from other people.
For sure.
I mean, it helped you get to the point now where you could start your own business, and you can do this for a living for yourself.
Yep.
And make enough money to live on. Like you were able to grow and get the experience, and that's really what matters in the end. Like you're continuing your career. You didn't leave that job. You just continued your career.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. It's definitely fun to be able to, like, you know, just work and work on things that you want, and then if you have time, you know, do things like this. And you know, I kind of feel like just a few months ago is when I really kind of almost got very serious about the YouTube channel and things like that, because I wanted to take my business and take the YouTube channel and kind of, you know, cement those two things together. I was back in the day doing like skateboard videos and bike videos and trying to vlog like maybe once every couple days or like once a week or something like that. It was just hilarious to me now. But your channel, you started off with the vlog, and I enjoyed like seeing a few of those videos, going back and watching like some of that. But what I know you from, like when I subscribed to your channel, I believe that it was due to like an abandoned tour or like a ghost hunter style video and things like that.
Yeah.
Dude, those are so much fun.
I love filming those. I haven't done one in a while, and mostly because I've just been so busy. And we've been doing like we've done 2 like ghost hunting things where it's me, and this is sidebar funny story. When I first started my channel, I was just putting out daily vlogs, and I get a message from this JP Videos. It's like, all right, he's like, hey man, liked your video. It's like, we know each other. I was like, okay, sure, we know each other. And he did abandoned videos and stuff. So I'm looking through his channel. He didn't put his face on camera very often.
Okay.
Finally, I see his face, and I'm like, all right, I think I know this guy. So I grabbed my high school yearbook. Sure enough, it's a kid I graduated from high school with.
Oh, no way.
He does abandoned videos. He does a lot of stuff with trains and stuff. And I met up with him one day, and we went and we filmed the video together. And he's the guy that I do a lot of the abandoned locations with.
Yeah.
I've done a couple on my own, but like I always gone to these abandoned places, but I never filmed them. And I was a kid. There's a bunch of them by my house, a bunch of old like collieries and stuff. So I'm in like old breaker buildings and all these crazy creepy buildings, and 90% of them are gone now. Now that I want to film them, they're not there anymore. So I teamed up and started doing a bunch of those, and then the one day we thought we were listening back to some of our audio, and we thought we heard some EVPs. So we're like, you know what? We're gonna do some ghost hunts. So we bought some gear, nothing expensive, nothing extravagant. And he live streams them, and I filmed them, and then I put out my video. He does a like an hour and a half long live stream. And the last one we were supposed to do, I had to cancel because I had something come up, couldn't do it. And then it's just been crappy, cold, rainy ever since. We haven't had a chance to do it again.
Yeah.
But those are some of like the best videos to film, because you never know what you're going to find. I don't remember if I left it in one video, but we're doing an old abandoned... I think I put it on this channel. I have a secret second channel that I don't talk about because I had a whole situation with an abandoned location. So I have some high-risk locations that I have on a super secret second channel that I don't attach my name to.
There you go. I was actually going to ask about that.
Yeah, I don't have very many videos on it, and it doesn't have very many views, but it's out there.
Yep.
If you want to, I'll tell you later.
Okay. All right.
If you want to
After
it,
the
but,
show.
I'm not going to broadcast that one to the world.
I was actually I was wondering because you and I had talked about if you were to come over here, Pittsburgh side, and you were talking about doing the old turnpike tunnels, right?
Yeah, we're talking about that soon.
Yeah, and I was talking to my girlfriend about it, and I was like, this sounds so much fun. You know, like, I'm super into it. Obviously, mine would just be some kind of filmy B-roll fucking thing. I don't know. That's kind of my shtick. But I was like really pumped about that. And then I was telling her about your channel, and the first thing she said was, does he have to get permission to go into these places? And I sat there and I went, you know, I don't think that anyone ever does.
There's some of them we've had permission to go into.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Some locations we get permission to get into. Some of them we don't, which is why I now have that secret second channel.
Yeah.
But I'm fairly certain the turnpike tunnels are semi-public, at least.
Yeah, I've seen
like walking and biking trails to them.
Yeah.
So I think those are, and I've seen videos. They're out there, so I doubt anyone's going to get in trouble for going to those.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I've seen enough videos. I think you know, that it's pretty commonplace that people are going to go there and they're going to film and things like that.
That's why we just had a creator meetup in March at Centralia, because it's now there's not any no trespassing just on some of the state-owned land. Is still, but they gave the graffiti highway to the neighboring colliery, and they are currently not enforcing no trespassing because it's a tourist attraction. I mean, we were up there were school buses of people pulling up and walking down graffiti highway.
Yeah.
The time I was there last year, and when it was warmer out, there were families. I'm talking like mothers, fathers, and like 5-year-old kids spray painting graffiti highway. I'm like, they're not stopping that. So like, we had a creator meetup there. It was actually really great. It was freezing cold. I picked the day. I take full responsibility for that terrible day, but a lot of people showed up. A lot of people had a good time. And like something like that, you can just go film, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's cool. A lot of there's not a lot to see because a lot of the town's gone, but like there's still a lot there that you can still check out and make a cool video, and anyone can go there. So, you know, if anyone out there wants to go check out Centralia, Pennsylvania, go now, because apparently you're not going to get cited for trespassing.
There you go, man.
But a lot of the other locations, it's enter at your own risk. So when you go in a place like that, you have to assume your own responsibility, and sometimes I'm like, no, that's sketchy, I'm not doing it, I'm out. But some of these locations, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to take the risk, because even if I don't put this on the internet, I want to see what's in there. I'm just curious about the history of some of these places, and just checking them out and seeing what's inside. And sometimes you come across a super good find where there's like barely any vandalism, and it's just like, in my opinion anyway, the just natural decay is so much cooler than like, sometimes there's some awesome graffiti. There's a place close to my house. I filmed there a couple times now. It's got some really good graffiti, and I like checking that out. So like, I go back there every once in a while to check it out. But some of these other locations, I'd rather see like just what happens when you leave a 100-plus-year-old structure alone to rot, and what Mother Nature does to it after it's been empty for 30, 40 years, and there's but a couple squatters in there. And that's really cool.
That was one thing that I really thought was like super cool about your video with those guys you were talking about. It was, what was it? The concrete. What was it called?
City.
Concrete City. Like when you first walked in, there was a goddamn tree in the building. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like that's so cool to think. And I mean, there was tons of graffiti and things like that inside the building, but just that whole urban decay, that whole just like, dude, this tree has the power to like rip through concrete and just take over. Like that is such an amazing thing to like to witness, like in person.
Really cool. And that place is also, it's a National Historic Site, so anyone can go there as well.
Oh, that's so cool.
And they actually run the police departments and the fire departments run drills there. A lot of people play airsoft and paintball there on the weekends in the summer.
Yeah, that would be prime for that stuff.
It's cool because they usually do all of that stuff on one side, and the property is really pretty big. Like there's like 26 or 28 buildings, so all of like the paintball and stuff and the drills, they all happen on one side. And there's that complete other side. So you can still go there and check it out while the fire department's setting fires because it's all concrete, so nothing's going to burn down. And you can still explore like 20 other buildings.
Wow.
And they're all cookie cutter. They're all the same. But because they've sat there, the place has been abandoned since like the 1920s.
Oh my gosh.
Every building is different because there's different decay, there's different graffiti in every single building. So even though every single house is exactly the same, every single house is completely different. And that's a really cool place to check out. So if you're ever on my side of the state, I'll take it.
Yeah, dude, that sounds so cool. The one question I had about the abandoned turnpike tunnels is, where's that located? I've never been there.
I don't know the exact location. I think it's like 40 minutes east of Pittsburgh, I think.
Okay.
It's not.
I'm wondering, is it called Livermore?
I don't know, man. I can Google it. I'm not sure.
So there's this place that I went when I was a kid. My parents told us never, ever, ever to go there. And they actually filmed Night of the Living Dead in the cemetery at this place. And basically what had happened was the Johnstown flood had ripped through and flooded out this entire town. And there is a city underneath this water. There's a river that flows through it. And it's called Livermore. And I know that at the end, like, you walk down all these bridges and stuff. And once you get to the end, there's this big tunnel. And right now it's blocked off. Like, there's fences and it says like military property, you'll be shot if you pass this point, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And me and my friends went there, and we actually have video from it. I'm gonna have to talk to the guy who filmed it, which is so crazy because he was having some really messed up things go on with his camera while we were going there. Now, they say that this place is like absolutely haunted with like all of the people that had died in this flood. And it's a really weird place because you can go down, and like right at the very end where this tunnel is, there's also, they've carved out kind of like like an alcove where there's still actual like pieces of like property that are floating to the top.
That's pretty
and
awesome.
Make their way down the river and just collect over in this like alcove. And we went down there, and just being like disrespectful little shits that we're down there just like ripping through the garbage and just like looking at stuff and like picking up pieces of like a house, like, oh hey, look what I found. Now my friend took a ball. It was like, just a play toy ball, and he was just like, he was messing with it the whole time, put it in his car, and that dude literally, we were on our way home, popped the tire. And he was like, this ball's haunted, blah, blah, blah. And we were all laughing about it. Not even like a few days after that, he popped another tire. Like, it got to the point where he was like, I need to get rid of this fucking thing. Like, he popped like 3 tires. Something else happened with his transmission blew or some shit. Like, it was rough stuff. And I was wondering if that's the same place or not.
It said it's near Breezewood.
Oh, okay. So that is not the same place.
I don't know where Breezewood is. I'm not too familiar with the geography of your side of the state, so.
Yeah. It's probably more than 40 minutes beyond Pittsburgh, but from my location, like in Greensburg, it's probably about 1 hour from me. So that's pretty neat.
Breezewood, PA. Let's see how far it is from me. 203 miles. 3 hours and 15 minutes from me.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting, man. That Livermore place is only actually, it's probably only about 25 minutes from my house.
Well, if I make it out there, I might have to go check out Livermore now.
Dude, it's a pretty crazy place. I mean, like, they don't touch anything. They have like the headstones and stuff in the cemetery there. I mean, some of those things date back to like the 1600s. It is really wild, and like I said, that's where they filmed a lot of the scenes from Night of the Living Dead.
I think I actually saw a documentary about that.
Yeah.
They're showing the cemetery they filmed and stuff. I think that was a couple years ago I saw that.
It's pretty
Like,
wild.
I had known they filmed a lot of it out by Pittsburgh, didn't they?
Yeah, I think most of the movie was filmed out this way, from what I remember. There were actually a bunch of a bunch of movies filmed out here that like I'm just recently starting to like really kind of learn about. That Kingpin movie about the bowling, that was filmed all in Irwin, Pennsylvania. That's literally
It's up in Scranton.
yeah. I mean, that's like straight down the highway from me.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And Steve Carell, actually, speaking of The Office, he was in a movie with who was the other super famous dude in this video? I don't know what his name was. I'm not going to spend too much time worrying about it. But he was here to film a video in Greensburg. I mean, they were filming at a hotel, like a motel, a little grimy motel, that is literally, I don't know. If I threw a baseball 6 times, I could hit it. Like, it's not that far from here. It's a 5-minute drive.
That's cool though, and it's like the little town's claim to fame. Like that's why Scranton's claim to fame is The Office.
Oh yeah.
Although it never took place here or anything.
Dude, were you a fan of The Office?
Yeah, I've seen I think every episode.
Yeah.
Funny story. Just remembered this. They had office conventions here for a while. I think it was the first office convention, and there was this bar that I still go to every once in a while, but I'm a homebody now. I don't really go out anymore.
Yeah,
but I went to this bar actually for about 2 years straight, played open mic every Monday night at this bar, was there every Friday and Saturday night, and I think it was the first, if not the first, the second office convention. Excuse me, and I'm sitting there waiting to get my beer, and then all of a sudden the door behind the bar opens up, and Kevin from The Office comes walking out.
Nice.
And then like, God, now I can't even remember their names. It's been so long since I saw the show, but like half the cast of The Office comes walking out the door.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy, and everyone's freaking out. And I just remember I was drunk and pissed off because I wanted a beer, and everyone's. I'm like, I just want a goddamn beer, and I made Kevin from The Office pour me a pint. So Kevin from The Office poured me a pint at my favorite bar in Scranton during one of those conventions.
Dude, that is your claim to fame right there. That is fantastic. That's awesome. There were some things. What's his name? Aaron Paul, whatever his name is, from Breaking Bad. Jesse.
Oh yeah.
From Breaking Bad. He was filming a movie in Pittsburgh, and there was a kid that I used to work with, him and his girlfriend and some friends from college or whatever, was sitting at this bar called Jack's down on the south side of Pittsburgh. And, he was just sitting there like on his phone, like texting or whatever. And this guy came up right behind him and just put his face like super close to him. And he was like, "Hey man, what's the best beer in here to get?" And he turned around to look at him, and there's fucking Jesse Pinkman staring him in the face. And he's like, what's happening? And they partied all night long. They hung out all night. Yeah, probably called him a bitch. But yeah, that was like, it just like overtook the local Instagram feed. Like Pittsburgh was just like nonstop. All these people just, it was wild shit, man. It's pretty cool. I know like Kevin Smith does a lot of filming here in Pittsburgh because it's cheaper to pay like the film guild and stuff like that here in Pittsburgh than it is to pay in New York or Los Angeles or anything like that, which is pretty neat. So every once in a while we get our you'll be driving down the highway and all of a sudden you just see like a jib on the side of the road that is like the biggest thing you've ever seen in your life, and it just says Canon, and it's like, what the hell is happening here?
Happening now.
It's super crazy.
How can I get that?
Yeah, seriously. How can I get this thing home?
Is there anyone watching it?
Oh my god. That would be hilarious. So, as far as your videos now, like most of your later videos have been all, and these are the ones that really grab me up because I'm a gearhead, and you, sir, seem to be a gearhead yourself.
I like toys.
Yeah, toys are fun, and we were talking a little earlier about the Peak Design bag. But as far as your review videos and stuff like that, like your channel is responsible for me looking at a ton of equipment. I'm just like always like, oh, what's he talking about? All right, and I'm just like on Google, I'm on B&H, I'm on Adorama.
B&H is like the worst thing because I love it so much. I'm on there. I'm like, oh, let me see how much this is at B&H. Oh, $6,000. Okay, never mind.
You're right.
Oh, what? $300? What can I sell to get that? I'm like, oh god. And I get stuff the next day from B&H.
Yeah, you do.
I'm close to New York, so I'm like, if I sell this on eBay and I could buy it now and then I could replace the money. B&H is great, but it's terrible. I buy too much crap that I don't need.
Yeah.
And I just like little toys. And I review a lot of backpacks because I'm addicted to backpacks. So
I noticed. I saw a lot of backpacks on your channel.
Yeah, and I'm doing 2 more right now I'm working on.
That's awesome.
I'll have 2 more backpack reviews coming out soon. But I've always loved backpacks. Like I've always had backpacks or messenger bags. I'm like that's one of the things I used to blog about. I'd write reviews on my messenger bags until I hurt my shoulder and had to get double strap backpacks again. I'm like I've been doing like reviewing bags for as long as I can remember.
A lot of that influence probably comes from the band days, I'm sure. Messenger bags and backpacks and all of that.
First one was it was from Thrasher magazine. It was a Thrasher messenger bag, and it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Then I realized it wasn't awesome, and I needed to get something better, and then my addiction grew from there. Yep. So thanks, Thrasher. I bought a lot of skateboards and read your magazine for years, and you started me on a path of spending a lot of money on backpacks.
So, speaking of skateboards, did you just get an electric skateboard? Or you have had it and you just got to ride it a lot?
I just get to ride it now. I was stupid and got it in like November or December, and I rode it like 3 or 4 times, and then literally like I rode it to work one day. It was like 26 degrees, and I got to work with my hands, and I'm riding home from work, and it was like 45 degrees and beautiful. And the next day it was like 18 degrees. I'm like, I'm not making this mistake again. And it's been sitting in my music room ever since. And finally, the weather has broke, and I'm starting to ride it now. And there will be a review of that as well.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
I haven't had a chance to ride it enough to really feel it out and review it because it's been so crappy. But now, finally, hopefully, if it doesn't rain, and it looks like it's not raining any longer. If it doesn't rain all day, I'll be riding it tomorrow, and hopefully have a review of that coming out relatively soon.
Dude, that'll be fun. Yeah, man. I loved like doing those skateboard videos. Those were so much fun to do. And like to date, those are some of my highest viewed videos. But they just lately, I'm seeing like all of these things. I'm like a part of all these Facebook groups for like e-skateboards and all this stuff. I actually had an electric skateboard store online for a little while that I was selling like bench wheel skateboards and a few other brands, like off-name brands. Which one did you buy?
I have a thrust board.
Thrust board.
He's out of Florida. It's pretty much the Meepo board.
Oh, cool.
A handle in it.
Yeah, very neat. Yeah, that's what my bench wheel has, a handle, like a handle cut out.
Yeah, I like it because I live on this massive hill, so I need to get down it. And mine does not have regenerative braking, so I'm using more battery power braking all the way down this hill.
Oh, yeah.
So down the hill, and now I got a handle so I can carry the skateboard down the hill, and I get out of the hill, and then I can ride it. I can ride it up it, but it's battery, but I can ride it up it. But to go down it, it's just killing my battery.
Yeah, dude. A lot of these skateboard groups I'm in, man, I'm starting to see all these people that, very expensive boards like those Evolve boards and things like that.
Nice looking.
For whatever has happened, for why ever it's happening, I don't know. The truck and the motors are completely snapping away from the board, and people are getting fucking wrecked.
They're like $2,000. I'd be pissed too.
Yeah, like I mean, there was I know that I hate to bring the vibe down here, but like there was a dude who. It was like on holiday, Easter Sunday or whatever. He was riding his board, and he took it down a hill, and he was like ripping it just to like really show his buddy, how fast this thing could go, and he wasn't wearing a helmet. And his board failed, and he fucking hit his head, and he died.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, what is happening? And then all of a sudden, there was more and more stories coming out. And me personally, if you look at any of my review videos, I'm never wearing a helmet. I'm like ripping down the street with a DSLR in one hand, fucking remote in the other hand, and I'm just like talking. I'm not even paying attention to what the fuck I'm doing. I'm looking at the camera.
We live in Pennsylvania, man.
I know.
These are bad.
Cracks, potholes, the whole 9 yards, gravel everywhere. And so I went out. I got myself a helmet. I haven't even ridden the skateboard since probably December. There was like one day that I was just like, I can't take it anymore. The sun's out at least, so I'm just gonna go ripping around the neighborhood. But yeah, I got myself a helmet. Definitely on that jam for now. It's
I own a helmet.
Yeah.
I own one somewhere.
It's around. So, what kind of gear do you like to shoot with? Your cameras?
Mostly,
what's your go-to? I guess.
My personal, I'm all Sony now. I still have my old Panasonic X1000 or 1000X. I forget where the X comes in,
right.
But that's like a prosumer video camera. That was like my old work camera, but I fell in love with my A6500, and when it was like, hey, I haven't got a new camera at work in like 3 years, and we've recently hired a photographer, and he's using his own Canon. We should get some new gear. We upped, and I have an A7S Mark II. He's got an A7R Mark II.
Nice.
We got a bunch of lenses that we share between us, but I mean, I love the A7S, and there's things I love about the A7S. There's things I love about the 6500 for like personal blogging. The 6500 is like perfect for me. It's great size. It's small. It's light.
Yep.
And I mean, I've always been vlogging on a crop sensor camera, so I don't realize that. Okay, I'm shooting at my go-to lens is 16 to 70 APS. So I mean, 16 is plenty wide. I mean, before that, I was shooting on 10 to 18, and half the time I'd be a little zoomed in. Like I was usually vlogging on like an 18. So what is that like? I don't know. My math right now, 1.5 times.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like 24 mil or something like that. Just like
something like that.
Right around there. I'm like, that's perfect for handheld walking, vlogging. So that's like my go-to is the A6500 with the 16 to 70 and the Rode Video Mic Pro on a ZHIYUN 3T 35K handheld tripod. That's like my go-to for me filming. And if there's something bigger that I need to shoot, I'll bring home my A7S. But I mean, it's bigger, it's bulkier, it's not touchscreen, so I can't pull focus. I have to manually pull focus, and like sometimes you're trying to squint and like you miss it. So it's so much easier to use that touchscreen to pull your focus. It's great, and a lot of my when I'm doing a lot of my review videos, I'm getting some B-roll. I'll usually I'll bring like the 6500 will be what I'm using as like my prop, and I'll film with the A7S. And then I'm carrying usually 2 backpacks and 2 cameras. So like I look like a fool walking down the path. I got 2 tripods, 2 backpacks, 2 cameras. And like people walk by, what are you doing? Are you filming a movie? I'm like, I'm one guy with 2 cameras. Am I filming a movie? Sure, I'm filming a movie. I'm
filming the Office reunion.
Yeah. I'm location scouting. The Office is coming back, and I'm shooting out some locations for episode 2.
That would be hysterical. Oh my god. Can you imagine the buzz that you would start with that?
Oh, I should just start walking around town. I'll wear an Office t-shirt or something.
That would be hysterical. Oh my god. Like one of the meanest pranks ever. I started go ahead.
As I put up signs for like an Office meetup or something, like Office reunion, cast reunion. People go crazy.
Oh my god.
People still come to Scranton just to see like the filming locations, and they get here and they're like, where's Benihana's? Where's Chili's? I'm like, we don't have it. They don't exist here. They're not even here. We don't have a Benihana. They go to Benihana all the time. We don't have one.
That's
the Chili's, that's in Wilkes-Barre. That's 12 miles south of here.
That's hysterical, dude. That is like, it is really funny just to like see what film companies do when they like come into a town, if they film in that town. I mean, like that shitty motel that I was talking about, that thing got the facelift of a lifetime. Now it's not so shitty. Now it looks all right. And
like
now it's same clientele, but in slightly nicer rooms.
Yeah.
You know, it
At
is
least
what it is.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm mainly. I mean, to get back to the cameras. I'm a Canon dude. I really enjoy the one camera that has really like kind of stood out to me as far as like, yo, this camera's like serious shit, is the A7S. And I was like, man, that would be the only reason that I think I would ever switch to any other camera brand in my entire life. But I have so much invested in my lenses.
Yeah, well, you get a Metabones.
That's what I would do. That's what I would have to do.
They have you got to get the good one.
Speed
because
booster.
If you get, there's a couple different versions. I forget the model number, but the Metabones that we got, I think it's like, because we switched a lot. We were all Canon at work. I used to shoot on like a T3i. And the Panasonic. It's like we have a lot invested in Canon glass. So when we switched off Sony, we bought one of the Metabones, and I don't remember the model number, but we got one it works with the autofocus and it's fast. Because I've heard horror stories about some of the other Metabones adapters. They don't work at all. So you gotta it's a little pricey, but I mean, if you got like $2,000 wrapped up in a Canon lens, $450 for an adapter so you can use it on a Sony, that's nothing. That's actually a smart investment. So you don't have to now sell your Canon lens to buy the exact same G Master lens that's going to cost you $2,600.
Exactly.
Buy the $450 adapter that works. Oh, your lens is going to be like an extra 1.5 inches from the body. Oh well.
Yeah.
Make
big
it a
deal.
little heavier. Oh well. I mean, there's certain things that you compromise and deal with. And,
for sure. And I mean, those adapters, man, they're cool. The expensive one with the speed booster in it, I mean, that thing gives you an extra like stop of aperture.
Really? I didn't even look at it that much. I just said, okay, that's the one you want.
Yeah. So if you were shooting with a lens that, maxed out at 4.5, it would get you to 3.5 on that lens. It's really, really interesting. The company that I used to work for when I lived on your side of the state in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, just south, young guy, he's my age, where our birthdays are actually 1 month apart. He was the owner of the company, and he had pretty much the same deal. We were all invested in Canon lenses, bodies, the whole 9 yards, and then he ended up getting the Sony FS700, and super nice video camera, like full on like real studio video camera, and it was kind of the first camera that was kind of one of those boxes. It was a box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
to make it work.
What's that?
Then you got to buy everything else to make it work. You just get the body. That's it.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So we got that, and then he had to get this Metabones adapter, and I was just like, man, that camera is still it's pretty cheap. I think it's like when he bought it, it was like $12,500. Now I think it's online for like maybe $4,500, and that thing, I mean, right out of the gate, shoots in 240 frames per second at 1080.
Really?
It's insane. Wow. Sony,
it's crazy.
In the slow motion game, dominates everybody.
Like, I mean, that's one of the reasons I switched over too. Is like I was shooting on a 70D, and I mean 30 frames per second. That was it. So I was like, I need something I could shoot some slow motion in, and I have a G7X Mark I. I'm like, that shoots in 60, but I'm like, I wanted something that I could get some more dynamic range out of. So I was like, I can get an 80D and then shoot at 60, and I had all my Canon lenses. I'm like, but it's like I'm buying the same camera just to shoot in 60 frames per second. And I love that 70D. I mean, the 70D is like, it fits in your hand. It was perfect. It just felt good. It felt like a beefy camera. I knew I had it in my hand, and it shot. It was reliable. I've had that thing fall over a bunch of times. Like, it looked brand new. and I bought it secondhand. And things still look brand new. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this Sony game.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I fell for the hype, unlike the Peak Designs bag. So I bought the camera, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I used the Canon like a couple times after that, and I was like, I need a new computer. Guess it's time to start selling all this Canon stuff. And I sold all the glass, I sold the body, and I ended up buying a new computer out of that. But
nice.
I fell in love when I got that. And everyone complains it doesn't have a flip out screen. I'm like, all right, but you're not supposed to look at the screen anyway when you're vlogging.
Right, yeah.
The only thing that I hate without having the flip out screen is I can't see my exposure.
Yeah.
So either doing the look at your hand, okay, that looks about right, and then flip it, and then okay, now I'm talking. Oh, now the sun just came out, and now I'm totally blown out, and I can't just reach up and adjust it because I don't know. That's the only thing that I think is the downside with not having the flip out screen. I don't care about my framing because you know what? If there's something over here, I'm just gonna turn the camera a little bit. I've been doing it long enough. I know that if I just turn the camera, it's there. Now I'm not. My eyes aren't being drawn to the LCD screen on the side of the camera and everything. When I grab the G7X, I'm looking at the screen. As hard as I try not to, I'm looking at the screen.
Yep, it's tough. I literally, for my last few videos, especially when I'm in this setting and I'm addressing the camera right here, I put on my Rockin' 14 millimeter lens, and I get my camera as close to my face as possible.
Just so you can't.
So I can't peek over and look at that screen, because if I'm sitting this far back, I mean, I've really trained myself over the last few months to really just stare into the eye of the camera and just really just lose myself in there. But every once in a while, I'll notice, if I'm trying to focus on something, I'll put it up there, and then I'm staring off camera the whole time, and I'm like, oh, come on, asshole, just look at the lens.
Yeah. And you don't realize you're doing it when you're doing it because it's a big glowing billboard. How can you not look at it?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're editing, I'm not looking at the camera. I just did this 5-minute monologue and it was perfect, but my eyes are looking over here instead of here.
Exactly. That's how it works, man. Those are the trials and tribulations of making videos on the YouTube.
Yeah. That's one of the things I try to tell people, and they're like, oh, what camera should I buy? And people are like, don't buy Sony. There's no flip out. Buy the Sony because there's no flip out.
Yeah,
you're going to train yourself to be better at the camera because you're going to have to force yourself to look at it. That's, in my opinion, the hardest thing about vlogging is looking into the camera. Especially if you have that screen and you're in public and people are already nervous about trying to vlog in public and film themselves, and now you're talking real low and you're looking at the screen. If you're not looking at that screen and you're looking at that lens, right dead in the center of that lens, you're going to lose yourself in that lens. You're going to forget these people that are around you, and you're just going to talk to your camera.
That's true, man.
Well, of course you're going to look like you're a fool. You're a person walking around with a camera in your hand talking to it. Yeah, people are going to stare at you no matter what you do.
Absolutely.
Even in this everyone's a vlogger. You're still going to look like a fool because grandma doesn't know what a vlogger is, and she's going to be staring at you all funny. But if you don't have that screen, you're more apt to focus on the camera, talk about what you're talking about without dipping down your voice and doing the camera. People put the camera down, and I hate that. I hate that angle when people are looking up at themselves. And not flattering. I got 6 chins when I do this. You don't want to. No one wants to see that. Hold it up in front of your face.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man. I think I have been through all stages of that, especially when I went out for the first time, on my skateboard. It was that angle. It was coming up because I don't know why it was more comfortable for me to vlog like this as opposed to this. I mean, it's literally a few inches of difference, but who knows, man? It's a wild thing.
Yeah.
But we've been going for an hour and 10 minutes at this point. That is,
we got put off track a few times, but it's okay.
It's all good, man. It's all about making videos, and it's all about the stuff that you do. So that's what everyone's interested in, I believe. That's what I'm interested in. So you have an open mic night to get to, correct?
Just some practice tonight. We're gonna be playing some music here. My buddy should be getting here in about he's about 6:30, so about 10-15 minutes will be rolling in.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, I had a great time chatting with you. I hope that I feel like this hour flew by. I feel like there's more that we can do. So maybe I've been looking into for these episodes. I told you right before we started recording, but I want to see if there's any way that we can take and make this almost a live thing, where we can do it on Google Hangouts, and I believe that it sends out whoever is involved in the call. It sends out a link to your subscribers personally. So if you and I were doing this live, and this is just something that I read on the internet, so it's got to be true, right?
It's always
all right
on the internet.
So if we were doing a live show together through Google Hangouts and sending it over to YouTube, apparently your video feed would alert your subscribers and mine would alert mine, and it would count towards the watch time on both of our channels.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Right? So
YouTube loves watch time.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that we need to get into. I'm going to do some research here over the weekend. And like my last guest, Matt Del Biondi, he's such a funny dude. And you're a very funny dude. So I think that, if there are current events happenings, YouTube happenings, or things like that, and maybe we could just do kind of like a round table, I think it would be awesome. That would be so much fun.
I'm on board.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for joining me today, dude. I really appreciated it. Yeah, that's about it, dude. I can't wait until you come over. I want to hit up these abandoned tunnels.
We've got to do a bar night with me and my buddy JP Videos. There's a little plug for him.
There you go.
To talk about when we're going to head over there. But I think we want to get out there. We wanted to get out there before it got too hot, and of course now it's 90 degrees today.
Right.
But it is still May, so hopefully the temperature comes down. But I'm thinking we're going to make it out your way relatively soon.
Awesome.
We're doing a creator meetup next weekend, maybe the 12th. We're doing a creator meetup on my side of the state. So if you want to make like a 6-hour drive on the 12th, we're doing a creator meetup in Scranton. But after that, we're going to try to make it out your way and see those tunnels, and I'll definitely let you know when we make it there.
Excellent. Very exciting, dude. I can't wait. I'll be definitely in on that.
Cool. And I'll bring an extra light for you.
All right. Awesome.
It's dark inside those places.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for joining me, and we'll chat later.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thanks for having me. It's a good time.
Adios.
Bye.